Well, g'day guys, and welcome to Finland. Yeah, I know. You guys are still somewhere in Norway. That's okay though. These little cost updates are normally recorded a few weeks in advance, so you've still got plenty of bits and pieces to look forward to before we get to Finland. Oh, and by the way, given the fact that we're in eastern Finland, give me a shout if you see a bear coming, eh? I had to move you around a little bit, sun's shining through. And just a very quick word, we're actually camped up in a campsite at the moment. I've got several days of work to do, and it's an absolutely stunning setting, but more about that in a couple of weeks. Let's talk money. So this is month 3, goodness me, 3 months already on the road here in the Nordics. Now, whereas the last couple of months have been 100% costs in Norway itself, this month we have a little smidge of costs in both Sweden and in Finland, but most of the costs are still from Norway. Did I bring my glasses with me? That's the big question. You know what? Oh, I did. Too many pockets as well. There we go. That's better. I'm just going to have to get used to the fact that sun's going to be in my eyes. Anyway, costs. So, as has been the case for the last 2 months, our biggest hitter this month, once again, has been groceries. And that comes in at £674. Now, that is slightly up on last month, just by £4. And in fact, the first month, I'm actually going to call it £714 because I was unfairly we did a pretty big shop before we left the UK, and that was all kind of wrapped up within that first month. So £674, kind of slightly lower than our first big month, but still higher than we would have liked. We really would have liked to try to keep this to around 600, and I'm going to hold my hands up there. It's probably because I have started buying beer at the weekend. And of course, even 6 cans can add up. Now, what we noticed in Sweden, and I'm quite frustrated that I didn't take advantage of this, was the low alcohol lager, so 3.5% and below. Now, some people are probably balking at that, going, is that even beer? But actually, it was quite tasty, and you could actually get 6 cans of that for £5. Now that we've come into Finland, the beer prices have gone back up to what would, in the supermarkets anyway, the beer prices have gone back up to Norwegian prices. So I'm quite frustrated that I didn't take advantage of picking up a couple of backup cases in Sweden and bringing them into Finland. But yeah, £674 for our groceries. So campsites and airs, this month was £84. Not quite sure where those were. It certainly was over a couple of hours. Again, I guess it's not too bad. Last month was fantastic because we only spent £16 on campsites and airs. I think this month, what we've noticed obviously because we work on the road, we're starting to lose that, 20 hours of sunshine, and we've certainly had over the last couple of weeks a little bit more inclement weather, and so we've been checking into campsites for electricity mostly, but that's £84. Eating out, £94. Now, again, slightly higher than we probably wanted to do because we know that eating out in Norway can be quite expensive. And last month we were only sort of hit for 36 quid eating out, so £94. This past month it's also been my birthday, but we didn't actually go out for it. We were in a little kind of backwater village, so that £94 is probably just. I don't think there hasn't been any meals out in that. That's really just been teas and coffee and cake, the all-important cake in various cafes. Fuel, £244. Now, we've noticed we have filled up here in Finland, but that cost isn't included in this yet. The fuel here in Finland is blooming expensive. Obviously we're over into the, that was a Mozzie by the way, we're over up into the euro now, and it's €2.10 per litre for petrol, for diesel. that's going to be nasty. But yeah, £244 in fuel over the last month. Again, 90% of that would have been Norwegian prices. Now this month we haven't spent any money on tolls. It's not completely true because we have just paid a toll bill, but it hasn't come out of this month's tolls. So this month tolls have been zero. I think next month we'll probably see the last bill that we'll get from our Norwegian toll journey, and so at that point I should be able to give you a total as to how much we spent on tolls in Norway itself. Parking this last month, £22. Again, couldn't tell you exactly where that was. No, but 22 quid parking. We do try as much as possible to free park when we're going in shopping and things like that, but in some towns it's impossible. So we just use in fact we don't use the Easy Park app anymore, because we've noticed that with the Easy Park app it adds on a service charge. What's all that about? You would have thought that actually using the manual process it would have added on a service charge. So actually I wouldn't recommend the Easy Park app where possible, because it actually adds, depending on how long you're parking for, it could add a couple of krona onto that. But yeah, £22 on parking. Odds and ends, this is mostly gifts, maybe a little bit of laundry in there as well, £60. The one thing that we have noticed with laundry, now in a vlog coming up we'll talk a little bit more about this here. How exciting is that going to be for you? But quite often the laundrettes or in campsites, the dryers are not very good, which leaves Nicola very frustrated and angry, which makes me very frustrated and angry. So I think Norway needs to sort out the campsites need to sort out their dryers. But £60 on odds and ends, and that probably includes some laundry facilities in there as well. Nice one. 0 on van repairs this month. That's a bonus. Now then, this is the big one for this month, and that's experiences. £679 on experiences. I guess last month we spent £650 on a van repair experience, so at least we got something out of these experiences this time. Now obviously when it comes to sort of working out costs, everyone is different. I think I said in the first month's cost update, we don't go into museums and galleries and theatre and things like that. So when it comes to experiences, this is probably something that you can just take with a pinch of salt, because everyone will be completely different. But £679. Now, I won't split that up just yet, because you won't have seen any of those videos just yet. I think this week's vlog coming up, one of those experiences you will see. But it was 1, 2, 3, 4 different experiences. Both of us went to each one of those, and it was £679. And obviously this month, nothing on other transports such as ferries and things like that. And that gives us, for our third month, travelling mostly in Norway and a little smidge of Sweden, £1,857, 2 people in a camper van, all costs all in. Now we've also been doing a little kind of running total on this. So since we left Cambridge, today is actually day 98. I think this cost sort of cut off about 4 days ago. So about 94 days, just over 90 days of travelling. It's working out the guts of £60 a day for 2 people. Now obviously in there are 2 things that are variable for everyone. Firstly, the van repairs. There was £650 of van repairs. Now, some people obviously might have more van repairs, some people might not have any. And there was also the guts of £700 worth of experiences as well. So obviously if you were to remove both of those and just, do lots of free things and not have any problems with your van, it's probably coming out at about £45 a day for 2 people travelling in a van through Scandinavia, which I don't think is too bad whatsoever. But yeah, this month's grand total, 1,857. Now, I normally record these updates on around the 12th, a little bit later. They should have been published on Wednesday, but normally recording these on the 11th, 12th of the month. Now, by this time next month, most of the costs will have been in Finland, and then about a week, maybe 2 weeks worth of costs in Estonia. So it'll be interesting to see, hopefully, our costs per month might actually start to slide down just a little bit. Now, what we have noticed in the small amount of shopping that we have done in Finland, the prices look to be pretty much on a par with Norway. Certainly, chicken and salmon and alcohol and things like that. Diesel, very expensive, and eating out. You know, we just went for a dander around one of the national parks here, and went to go in, and I was just sort of perusing the menu, and a can of lager, I think it was €9. A cup of coffee, sort of €3-4. So I think we are starting to look forward to maybe getting down into the Baltics and being able to treat ourselves a little bit more with going out. But there you go, guys. Another month done and dusted in the van. Norway has been incredible. We're obviously in Finland now, and we have had a little bit of time in Sweden. But yeah, Scandinavia is phenomenal. And actually, from a cost perspective, I don't think it's been as pricey as we thought it was going to be. And certainly when you think about what you might pay for a 2-week holiday, renting accommodation in some hotspots, either in Europe or even in the UK, I don't think £60 a day for costs all in for 2 people is too bad. Right, well, I am going to wander back into this little hut behind me here. This is where we're actually hunkered down working at the moment. It's lovely and warm. And apparently as well, last night we missed a really good aurora display. Ooh, gutting. Didn't get the alert for it, but maybe tonight, maybe tonight. Right, guys, well, this Sunday we're back to Norway and we're meeting some of the locals. I hope we brought enough food for them. Once again, thanks a lot for following along, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye. Is that a bear?